All right, so surgery was last Tuesday, and I'm heading to the doctor in a few minutes to go remove my little friends, the ever present drain. Um, so glad to get rid of that. I am just not an accessory person. I decided, I don't wear very much jewelry. Was never good at a colostomy bag. Had those twice. Had to get rid of them as soon as I could. Really, really excited to get rid of Juice Box here, my sweet little friend that is unwanted. But it's draining good and it's drained good, so we're good. Moving on. Surgery went well. The surgeon felt like she got clean margins. The tumor was only an inch. So the weird part is the thing that we were feeling clinically was actually a really inflamed vein that she biopsied. So I'm curious as to see if, first of all, that the tumor was the same mucosa melanoma and what the vein is. So that should be interesting. I've not been in a whole lot of pain. We had like the best Thanksgiving because I have the best friends and the best family. So my in-laws made the turkey, famous barbecue turkey, Russ, um, and then gobs of food. Like my friend that cooks, she'll kill me if I say her name, so I won't. But she has a famous blog and she's amazing. She literally, like, her family came in our house like 5 times and filled our cupboards with food. It was crazy. And all of us, so 8 of us, and then my in-laws 10, and then a niece and nephew that came up from BYU, all ate on that food for like 3 days. It was amazing. I just don't even know how somebody makes that much food. Yeah, it was crazy, but so good. Anyway, so I was off the hook for cooking and could stay pretty low. Um, anyway, so Heavenly Father is so cool because sometimes you don't even I don't even know if I really prayed about it, but Darren has been by my side for every procedure, every surgery, everything that I've done. And this specific one marks, we couldn't decide if it was 12 or 13 major abdominal surgeries. Everything else, there's tons more, but just those were procedures. But he's always been there to like speak on my behalf when I'm still kind of semi-drugged. He holds my hand and gives me that one last hug before I go into surgery. Usually he's there when they place my first IV and I start to go under. And because of COVID restrictions, it didn't even allow him in the front door of the hospital. And we were devastated. And Darren was devastated. He hugged and kissed me, and I could tell that he was heartbroken that he couldn't come in. Well, subconsciously, I think I just had a plan in place because apparently that's what I do. So I asked the doctors to not give me anything that would keep me like feeling out of my brain for a long time. I don't like feeling like that. So any of the really hardcore narcotics. So the doctor suggested some psychedelic meds. So we had watched a podcast a while ago about the answer to cancer, and they said that in some places they were trying to legalize LSD. And so I don't know if that's what they put in my IV, but it did kind of the opposite because I usually come out of it just fine, but usually I come out of it and Darren's right there. And I came out of it so poorly. I don't remember. The first thing I remember is there was tears like flooding down my face. And I guess what I'd been saying is that I was really, really sorry. And I apologized to my kids and my husband, and that I just needed to die. And I was so sorry that I was such a burden on them. And it was all my fault and I should just die. And she said she let me do that for 7 or 8 minutes. And then just this inspired nurse who was like, no, this is enough. Enough is enough. And she's been a nurse for 28 years, and she goes, if I've learned anything, I've learned empathy. And so she called, she got on the phone and she called and she said, get Darren up here right this minute. And so even though we were so sad and heartbroken that he couldn't be there, and COVID restrictions absolutely like said no way, he was able to come up and sit by my side, and within just a couple of minutes I could open my eyes. I stopped saying all the crazy things that I was saying, and I just think that was such a blessing and a miracle for us, such a tender mercy that we got to be together and he could be there by my side. And obviously I feel a deep rooted like safety in his presence, and so on a subconscious level I love him too. What? Anyway, so good.